Greetings, Marsh here, and welcome to episode 43 of my modded Factorio playthrough. Enjoy! Well, since we're producing inserters in mass, I think we can upgrade all of our inserters that needed it, and specifically switch over to filter inserters where they were useful. The filter inserters are going to be kind of complicated, though. So the easier thing to take care of is just replacing the blue inserters, or replacing reds with blues. So if I recall, we had two machines here because we were inserter limited. Because these need 2 stone tablets a second. So in total we need 8 stone tablets. And one of these produces 8, but at a speed of 0.75, so that's 6. So we do only need 1. I won't replace these poles. I mean, they'll eventually get replaced when things get rebuilt, but they're technically fine. The only disadvantage really is your factory isn't as compact as it could be. But rather than replace all these by hand and rebuild everything, let's just wait until robots make this easier. But looks like it needs about 1.5 bricks per second, so it needs 1 blue, and then the output is going to be 6. Just going to require 3. Oh, and I can tell already that we have a wood shortage, completely out of wood. Got some in the inventory, but since we're completely empty, probably means we need to go cutting down some trees. But do the easy kind of cutting down trees with robots. Well, these ones are kind of awkwardly in the way, so I can just kind of take care of these. I'm thinking maybe cut down 1,000 wood worth of trees, since we're completely out. I have a feeling we don't have enough robots for this. That seems far enough down for the trees, anyway. Let's go back up. Oops. Is there any way to stop that? I don't know. There we go. Basically hold shift and click, and that'll stop the remove order. It's not something that comes up very often. Basically, some poor belt got stuck in the way of my deconstruction planner. Looks like we were running low on robots. So let's put the wood in and then get some more robots. What are we short on? Iron. Yeah, well, the factory's short on iron right now. There's our 6 plates per second. It's in cute little 6-plate bundles. Let's see what we can do with this. I'll finish the rest of this by hand. I think this will be enough wood. Yeah, it looks like it will be. Yeah, you can see that just these 2 sets of machines are all we needed. That it's that full iron output coming through here. And it's consuming everything we have to fill back up on motors. So we had lots of inserters to replace. Well, the input of these guys requires, looks like 4 items per second going in, so we no longer need these corners. That simply having blues will be enough. And the output is 4 items per second. So no corners. Just going to be something you'll commonly see. Just no corners, no corners. So since we have 2 on the output, we can do 2 of them being nears. Or 1 of them being nears and 1 of them being a regular. So each machine will have an opportunity to place near and far, which is ideal. If you can do each machine having an equal number of nears and fars, that's the best way to do it. Yeah, it needs 1 per second coming in and 1 per second coming out, so those are fine. On the input side, it's going to be 3 per second, so we don't need these corners. So you can see how much more compact this whole thing would be now that we don't need these corners here anymore. If we wanted to rebuild. But I'd say no. Yeah, I'd say no rebuilding, because it's not actively bumping into anything, so I don't see a need to rebuild everything right now. Just replace and keep going and don't worry about it. Seems to be a big shortage on copper, which is unusual. So I'm gonna take a look at that. I wonder if it's just an inserter limitation here. Yeah. Because each one of these boxes has a sufficient amount of copper in it. Let's upgrade this. It's one of the things we're going to need to upgrade anyway. So it takes... We're going to need a power pole there? Looks like it. Wonder if there's a way to do a big electric pole. Yes. No, it has it. It has it. We can take these away. It takes... Or apparently we cannot. Okay. Let's connect this and this. There we go. It takes 6 blue inserters to max out a standard yellow belt. So if we put one there and one there, those are our 6 slots. And probably can do a better job with this routing of the belt. There we go. We pick up all the copper plates. Let's distribute them. That's kind of one disadvantage of doing this, having multiple chests, is that they never equally discharge their contents. So you see how we have a full amount of inserters, but they're not inserting here. And again, this is something that's fixed in 0.16, but since I'm not running that version, I'm running one earlier because I don't want, you know, to break the save or anything like that. It's not compressing the belts properly, and the easy way to do that is just to have a underground belt on the last 1 or 2 inserters, and you see now it's a fully compressed belt. So that's a pretty simple fix. So copper's filled out. Of course, this is just a production limitation. There's not much we can do about it. We just have to wait for it to take its course. Oh, and that looks like it's filling up, so it's basically has taken its course. And we need new blue inserters anyway. Grab some more. Wasn't that easy. Okay, so with these, it's 1 plate goes in, or 1 goes in and 2 goes out. So we don't need these corners anymore. Let's see, let's 1 regular and 1 near. Okay, this business is kind of crazy looking. We can get rid of these corners. And then we just need, it looks like a red to put them on the belt, but we're going to need a blue to put them in. So a long-handed blue up here, and then a short-handed. Let's make the bottom one a near, the top one a regular. Okay. That side has already been bluified, so on this side we need... Well, those are picking up from 2 different belts, so... But it's only... Yeah, it's 1 item per second, but it's actually only half an item per second because there's 2 inserters, so actually, technically, yellows would be fine, so... I will replace it, because why not? And long-handed up here. I just don't like seeing all those reds everywhere. Something odd about seeing reds doing things that aren't long-handed. Like in stock Factorio, that's what reds do. They're long-handed and that's it. But in Bob's, they do all sorts of things. But it just seems wrong. Okay, so that's going to be 2.5 items out. So just barely, but we're going to need 2 blues, but that means no corners. I'll get rid of that business. Okay, let's make this one a regular. Gotta pick up some more. And let's make these other guys nears. Okay, that's taken care of. These are 2 inserters there. No corners. Regular, regular. Near, near. Those, we already had access to blues, so those are all already properly set. Let's see down here. Looks like 1.5 wood goes in, and 3 wood goes out, so blue in. And let's do a regular, regular, near, near, regular, regular, near, near. One thing you want to do when you're setting this up, it's kind of hard to see because they're all colored, but you don't want 2 different inserters to try to place on the exact same side of the belt. Same way you don't want 2 inserters trying to pick up from the same side. So you see down here, this is a near inserter, which is placing on this side, and this guy is a near inserter placing on this side. If they weren't like that, let me see if I can show you here. See how they're both trying to place on the same part of the belt? That's going to reduce your output a little bit. So when placing things, you want to try to place them in a configuration where they're not trying to fight for the same belt spot. I don't think these needed any kind of upgrade. No, they're fine. Although we can bluify this. Slightly better way to do it. It requires more chess, but it's more inherently balanced if you put the chess in the outside. So if you just have a set of belts here and just put them right here, it's a little more balanced that way. Doesn't require any kind of balancing. You just put inserters like that. Are we out of steel? Yes. Out of iron? Yes. And there we go, that's upgraded. Probably would help to put the underground right there just to get maximum output. Lots of stuff to replace. I believe here it didn't need to have that many inserters. It only requires... yeah, it only requires 3 per second. So that means we only need 2 inserters, not 4. I believe this side is still correct though. Because that's 6 every second, yeah. So it does need those 3 blues. So that is fine. However, all of this business can get replaced with blues. We don't technically need blues for any of these. But since they all functions as chests, where they hold resources, you'll get slightly better factory performance if you replace them all with blues. And there's no near-far kind of inserter placement here necessary, because they are already kind of inherently balanced, so it's not necessary. I mean, you could if you really wanted to, but I don't know if it would have a practical benefit to your factory or not. Those, however, are inserters. Looks like it's 1 resin every 4 seconds. Actually can be a yellow. So why have reds when yellows are fine? Looks like we're short on blue, so I'll pick up some more. How are we doing with those red inserters, by the way? Still got 550 left. Look at all those in the inventory. We've still got more to remove. Let's see. Those were spaced there because of power line limitations, but if we replace this power line here, it actually makes it so we don't even need these anymore. And it also, this power line will reach up here. So since we do have 2 inserters per machine here, I think having the near inserters would help, so let's make the top ones the near inserters. And the bottom one's the regulars. And there we go, that's upgraded. And all of these can just be placed in. We were inserter limited on these. This really doesn't matter, but let's see if we could actually fill the thing up fast enough. Requires 2 plates a second, so it's going to be a plate and a half. And this one requires too much. I don't know. It's going to be heavily pipe limited, so I think the 1 is going to be good enough. I'll just place all these with 1 blue. Ooh, look at this business. Woo-wee! I put fixing this off, but let's go for it. Alright, that is a lot of red. Alright, so this takes 1 coal per second. But actually it runs at a speed of 1.5, so 1.5 coal, so it needs 1 blue to go in. And it's going to need 2 blues on the way out. Actually, I think at this point, I can do this. I haven't done the math on it, but I think this would work. This thing's going to be putting out 3 coal per second. And it's going to be processing, is this at a speed of 2? So that can actually process 4 coal per second, so that will be enough. Alright, let's make those the regulars. These the nears. Alright, and replace everything on this side too. Input. 1 coke per second. The speed of 1.5, so 1.5 cokes. So a blue. Oops, it's facing the wrong way. Are those faced the correct way? Yes, they are. I just placed those the wrong way. Pick up some more blues. I mean, I could make more, or, you know, have a stack higher than 50, but we're kind of short on resources. It doesn't seem like it because we still got 166,000, but again, once this patch is gone, that's it. We can't research it, or we can't scan it again because we don't have the technology, so we're going to have to find it elsewhere. And there's some right here, fairly small patch, and like over here, a really big one. But we don't really have a car to do that, so I don't want to be walking all the way out there and carrying it back. So until we have a fairly reliable source of resources, I kind of don't want to use more than we absolutely have to. So that's why I'm keeping this limited to only 50 in a stack here, because I could set it to like 400, and then when we're done, we've got 400 extra inserters just sitting there not getting used, and that seems kind of wasteful right now. So the output here is 3 carbons every 2 seconds. I'm going to get the calculator for this, which is 1.5, but it runs at a speed of 1.5, so that's 2.25, which is just barely 1 fast inserter. So let's make the top ones regulars, and the bottom ones the nears. Okay, yep. Are we full? Yep, looks like it. We need to upgrade that. There we go. Look at all this stuff we don't need. I think that's pretty good. We kind of just have a lot of random resources that we've been picking up because they were in the hands of an inserter when we were working on it, but we could get all that out of our inventory when we're completely done upgrading the factory with blues. Woohoo, it's backed up again. Okay. Look at that. So much cleaner than that explosion of red inserters that was there before. Let's see, up here. Yep, we can replace all of these. Since these are not in a balanced setup, since they're kind of not, they're only using half the belt, anytime you see them using half a belt, it's kind of a good time to throw a near inserter in there to make better use of it. And up here, I believe we're going to need 3 per second, so 2. Is that the same one? Nope, it's this one. Got to do them all symmetrically. And those are already good. I'm going to wait on those because that setup here is something we could use filter inserters for. So I'm going to save the filter inserter business for last. Looks like I forgot to get these inserters up here. Well, let's do these ones. These are the easy ones. They're just two inserters. However, I believe these machines run at twice the speed, so actually we only needed one, but we didn't have one before because of an inserter limitation. That's right, because we needed 6 items per second. But now that we have blues, let's see which one to get rid of. Get rid of this one. It's got a lot of... There's some resources that are in liquid form that are just going to disappear. I kind of don't want to waste them. Want them to get sucked out of here. It's me min-maxing. You gotta watch out when you pick up things that have liquid in them. There we go. So... Well, I guess I didn't need to pick up both of them. Could have put that one right there. Maybe put some... Does that need to be there? Doesn't look like it. There we go. Then this one is for solder. So that's 6 per second, which requires... Or 12 per second, which requires... 5 or 6? Let's see. 12 divided by 2.3 is 5.2, so 6. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ah. Requires a corner. Or no, did the math wrong. It's 24 every 4, which requires 6. Divided by 2.3 is 2.6, so we just need 3. Alright, that's good. No craziness. So I'll just get rid of this. And there we go. And the same should apply for this machine, so let's get rid of all these inserters. Put a light up there. Kind of clear these machines out. Fortunately now I probably have a bunch of solder in my inventory, yeah. Can I just stick it back in these machines? That's interesting how it doesn't hold a stack, it doesn't stop at 200 like the other machines do. Okay. So now I can max this out, because I definitely don't want to be carrying around any bronze plate, because you can do literally nothing with it. Okay. So we can get rid of this one. And then just have 3 inserters right there. There they go, taking care of business. Just as a side note, how are these boxes doing? Clear them out a little bit. Let's see, what else do we have? Anything that's not an filter inserter setup anyway. Save that business for last. It's definitely the most complicated. This, I think we could just get rid of, because we're going to be building belts before too long on the bus, so I don't think we need this anymore. Okay, this can be upgraded for sure. But we're kind of filled up on items. Let's try that. Filled up. Out of steel? Yep, but we've got it. Out of iron? Do we have it? Yep. I think I do have to clear out the inventory here. It's getting pretty muddled. But then we could put that in there. There we go. Now we have a full belt of crushed stone. But we've got an inventory full of junk, so I think we need to clear all this out. Starting to get in the way. While we're replacing all these inserters, I did say we should make some belts, but we don't know how to make red belts yet, which are logistics 2. It's big research, 400 times 2 really, to make these. And they require a ton of iron, but that would be the next thing we're going to make on the bus. And since this is going to take forever, and it's a component of cars, I think we should research it now. It's going to be a while. If we don't start it now, we're just going to be done with the factory and then wait for it all to research. I don't mind preemptively researching it since it's the very next thing we're going to work on. Basically, we want everything on our toolbar to be automatically produced, because if it's on the toolbar, it means we use it a lot. The only exception is things that require steel I'm going to avoid putting on the toolbar or automatically making, just to try to save resources until we can more reliably create them. Wow, we're really full on stone. I think it's only fitting. Yeah, it's only fitting in those last 2 crates. Alright, I'm gonna need to drop all my inventory in here. There we go, so we can pick up more of this at a time. There we go. Let's do the belt trick there. Alright, over here. Stone. Looks like 3 crushed stone go in, and 1.5 crushed stone is going to come out. So we're going to need to replace all of these directly. We haven't hooked this line up yet because we have so much stone, but eventually we're going to run out. So I might as well upgrade this now. And actually, since we've got a weird setup here, let's do near inserters. I don't believe any of these need any upgrades. We already checked it before when we replaced them with steel furnaces, so they should still be fine. Oh yeah, up here. So this thing is going to need 15 stone per second, which is 6.5 blue inserters, so 7. 2, yep. 5, 6, 7. Something like that, I guess. It's not quite balanced, but whatever. Let's see, all of these can be replaced. There's like an extra belt up there. If they've got 2 reds, then that means 1 will get the job done if we replace it. And we can do those middle ones as nears. One way to keep yourself from getting confused about which ones are nears and which ones are fars is just to do all of the nears first, or all of the fars first, and then all of the nears. Alright, so that one's running. Although we're low on inserters, so I need to pick up some more. Is that one correct? Yeah, it's running. That's why. Pick up some more. How many reds? 296. I like that. It'd be better if it was 0. No, reds aren't terrible. They're fine. They're just between yellows and blues. Okay, then nears. Oops, I guess I accidentally replaced those already. Alright, nears. Now you can definitely see a problem here where there's gaps and it can't insert them. So it looks like an underground right there would be useful. Fortunately though, they're kind of by themselves, which makes placing an underground there kind of awkward. But nonetheless, it is a problem that it's just sitting there waiting for an opening. So it's going to be weird just putting an underground by itself right here, but See if we do that, it fills them up properly. Almost. Good enough. If an improvement can be done, you might as well do it. Okay, down here. 10 every 3 times 1.5, so that's 5, which is going to require 2.1 inserters, so 3. So no corners. The next step of our inserter upgrade is to replace our regular inserters with filter inserters, but that's going to take a little while, so we're going to have to save that for the next episode. I'll see you later.